Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Fourtress Finest, a spinoff of our typical The Fortress Hub podcast, where me and Devin have been going through the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power series on Amazon. Today, this week, we are on episode 7, The Eye. After the big, massive aftermath of everything that happened last week. First off, spoilers for everything the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy and those films and books
Mhm.
and whatnot. Also, any pre-Silmarillion type of spoilers before the events of this show are fair game for the most part. Anything that's after this events of this show, we won't spoil until our sealed sections towards the end of these storylines. Which look at the time codes and check all that stuff as well. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. There might be yeah, again. So if spoilers for the fair game for the Lord of the Rings stuff will probably be all about, except for like major stuff. So just check the time codes, listeners.
Mhm.
Overall, we chatted for a brief second before we started recording, and you didn't seem as big of a fan of this episode as I did.
Yeah, I mean, I've been back and forth. Like, this show does some stuff really, really well, mostly visual, mostly practical effects, whatever. And then it
Mhm.
just does some other dumb shit that just like completely kills it. Like, I'm just like it's like I'm on a seesaw. I'm like, oh, this is great, and then
That's
something else
so
happens. I'm like,
interesting.
this is stupid as fuck. Like, I don't know.
I'm so interested to figure out where those parts are.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's mainly. I think I'm just hypercritical because of the original trilogy. But
Clearly.
like, yeah, mainly two things at the very, very end of this episode. It's like you didn't need to do that. You did not need to do
uh,
this.
okay. I might have an idea of where you're going. We'll get to that at the
Yeah,
very
but
end. But
anyway, yeah.
okay. So I think this one will probably go storyline by storyline again, since we're kind of spread out once again.
Hmm.
So let's start with, I guess, since we're in the aftermath, let's start with, I guess, Galadriel slash Theo's
Right.
aftermath, and then because those will eventually tie up.
Uh, Warhorse.
That horse on fire got me. I was like, oh damn,
I think
dude,
that was that the
damn.
horse. Did they like later kind of like they zoomed in on another horse later? I feel like was that the horse, and maybe the fire stopped.
No, the horse later, unless we're thinking of something
Was
else.
that
I
just
was
a
thinking of the
Sildur's
horse.
horse?
Yeah, it was just the seal. Yeah, they
Okay.
zoomed in on it because you could see the scar, and that was the Isildur's horse from
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, that horse on fire. A lot of people
A
were
lot
on
of dead
fire,
people.
bro. Like
A lot of dead
a
people.
lot of
I think there
dead
was one person
people.
that was just on fire, just crawling. It's like, just roll over,
Yes,
dude.
like Anakin style
Yeah.
slow crawling on fire.
He's like, damn, I should have had the high ground. Yeah,
Yeah, so that was nuts.
that was rough.
Yeah,
Well, it also reminded me of just like how this show has gone a little into like gore that I feel like we didn't get. Like you had some gore in the original trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy, but it was always like not a lot of blood spewing, not a lot of like, just just outright horrible things to see. Like, I don't want to see a horse on fire. Nobody wants to
yeah, that
see
was
that.
rough. That was a lot.
And like the last episode, we had a lot of it too, where just like it felt kind of like video gamey at certain points of just like the orc blood, just like, just spilling out of
It's
people.
just spewing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. This show's definitely gotten a little gorier than, the original, than the established properties in the
Right. This
franchise.
is at least like when it comes to human death, or
Yeah.
like, yeah, good people. Yeah, that this was
Right.
definitely like probably one of the worst things we've seen. And yeah, they spared no expense. I mean, it looked bad. It looked
It was
rough.
pretty bad. And then
Yeah.
somehow Galadriel's just fine after taking a
Yeah,
wall of
she's all
lava
right.
to the face. Like, or I guess it was
She's all
just
right.
ash cloud, but whatever.
It was funny when Theo pops up. I was like, "Damn, he survived."
Yeah, me too. A little bit, a little bit. Like,
But a little bit. But also, yeah, he seemed to be redeeming himself. So, yeah, he's alive, and I kind of thought it was interesting that they paired the two of them together this
yeah,
nearly entirety of the
I
episode.
didn't really understand that, but I guess, and like Galadriel had a complete heel turn, and maybe it's just the stress because maybe it's like she was kind of pent up this whole time because she was like trying to stop something like this from happening, but then as soon
Right.
as it happens, she's like, well, cat's out of the bag, so I guess I can chill out now. Time
Yeah.
time for some self care. Like,
Right. And which she definitely. I mean, enough people have told her that. Look, you're starting to like tickle your way into the dark side a bit. You might want to get
yeah.
some self care.
And then Theo's like, hey, we gotta stay here and fight and kill some more. She's like, Theo, you really just shouldn't blame yourself for this day, and maybe you should just chill out, bro. Like, You know, like,
Right.
I think we should just go leave, you know? And it's like,
She's all namaste, yeah.
weren't you like the biggest like warmonger for this entire season
Right.
so far? And then she's like, you know what? Let's just chill. Like, oh, and then like the very previous episode, she's like, I will hunt every single one of your orc family down. I will cut their fingers off in front of you, Adar. I am going to
Right.
put my finger through their eye and put it through the back of their head and do it slowly. And I'm gonna watch you cry while I do it. And guess what? You're
Right.
gonna see me do it 3,000 times to each one of your orcs that you love so much.
Everyone.
And then she turns around 10 minutes later and says, Theo, you shouldn't have those kind of dark thoughts, man. You shouldn't be talking about
Right.
killing
I
orcs
mean,
like that.
I could see it in the sense like especially at the end of the last episode where she looks like, "Yeah, I failed. I royally failed. All
Yeah.
of this is entirely my fault," is what
Mhm.
she's thinking. I don't think it is, obviously. Clearly, it's Theo's fault. No.
Yeah, she's telling him not to blame himself. It's like, no, we could probably blame you. You should blame
That's
yourself.
that happens a lot in this episode with different people where like, "It's not your fault," and then it's like, "Well, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit."
Could
You don't
if
have to
you
take
had
all
done
the
one
blame.
thing differently, maybe it wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, I kind of found I like the different interactions because we've never seen these 2 characters together, and so
Mhm.
I thought it was an interesting pairing putting them together, and then them kinda just, like, talking and sneaking through, uh, what is, I guess, at that point, still the Southlands technically, but whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and, yeah, the whole being stealthy while the orcs are hunting survivors and yada yada.
Mhm.
Um, it's all, like, tense stuff, but, like, not much there really, it's just them trying to survive the night, basically.
Mhm.
Um and she gives Theo her sword, which I was like, "Why?"
People love giving this kid swords. They love it.
Stop.
Like,
Stop.
stop giving Theo swords. He's gonna open that sword and find out that it's like actually a pencil or something. Like they just stop giving this kid swords. All right, it's bad. All right.
Yeah. Hey, listeners, quick, little keep it secret, keep it safe. Spoilers happening right now. Check time and codes again. Here we go. But I will say, in their conversations with her and Theo, we learn a pretty big piece of information,
Yes.
which I don't know how to take this. Which, well, okay, we'll just say it now because it's not really a spoiler
Yeah.
since this character's. She says not only has she lost Finrod, her brother, she's lost her husband, Celeborn, which
He's
I
around.
was very surprised by that.
No, he's got to be around somewhere. He's
I mean,
he's
yeah.
he's just like out there somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, that was
My
very
question
weird.
is the story she's telling true though? Like, does she think he's dead? Is my biggest question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because why would she tell him that? She could have just said my brother died. Why would she extend the story and say, oh, also my husband? You know.
Right.
So maybe she does think he's dead, which would be very interesting because let's face it, in the Lord of the Rings, Celeborn is boring as hell.
True. True.
So if they go out of their way to make him an interesting character, I would actually appreciate that.
I would too. I mean, he had a thing. What in like the first stage, him and some people didn't really like the dwarves, right? Like they had kind of like a beef. So I don't know. Maybe that'll come up later. Like maybe when she starts interacting with some dwarven characters. But he's got to either maybe he's like in a jail cell with the dwarves right now. Either way, we know he's alive because like he's definitely there in the
Yeah,
fellowship.
he's in the trilogy.
He's
Yeah.
in the trilogy.
So
So
we know
yeah, we're gonna find out later. I think that's maybe a little breadcrumb for future seasons. They're gonna dive into that.
right. But yeah, no, I thought it was interesting though. I kind of like that because
Hmm.
especially after seeing this version of Galadriel, I'm like, man, Celeborn doesn't deserve Galadriel. He seems so boring. She seems like the coolest
Oh my
person
god,
ever,
she's
and
so
then
cool.
she's married to
Yeah,
this dude.
he's just like a piece of toast. Like,
Yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of very excited for that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so eventually they find the Numenorians, and we'll leave it off at there, and we'll continue that when we
Hmm.
tie this all at the end. So let's start back at the beginning with Elendil and then the rest of the Numenorians, where yeah, Isildur, he's dead. He's gone forever, never
Yeah.
to be seen again.
Here's how we're gonna build drama in a show. We're gonna try to make you think that a character you definitely know is alive is dead.
Right, and this is where I go, like, clearly there are people who have not don't seen the films, and even so, Isildur is so minimal in Fellowship that people could have just forgotten his name, you know
True,
what I mean?
true.
So that's why yeah, so but yeah, I mean, yeah, that happened, I was like, "Yeah, he's fine."
He's
His
gonna
horse
be
knows
fine.
it, he's that's why his horse is, like, freaking out. He's fine. The horse is gonna find him. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Also, that was to me. It was kind of comical how that building fell in on him. Like first, it's like one piece of wood, and then he looks up, and it's like a few more pieces of wood, and then it's just like a whole wall of rocks come down. It's
The
like
whole thing.
that escalated very quickly. But yeah, he's
Yeah.
probably just like laying under that village at the end where all those orcs are. He's just waiting,
Right.
waiting
Right.
to get out. I don't know. I don't know what he's
Right.
doing. He's in there though.
Yeah. He's probably just like, help, please, someone.
Not you. Not
You
you.
know who needed help? His buddy Antamo.
Ooh.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I told you he was not meant for it. Dude, I told you
Yeah.
someone had to bite it.
But like he was definitely the most expendable of all of
Yes.
those
Oh yeah.
people. And like, do
Yeah.
we care about him? No. Like, not at all. I
I
didn't
mean,
care.
it's sad because like we were saying, like he just wanted to chill and vibe out and not
Yeah.
fight in this war, and it's just like, oh no,
Yeah,
you're
I
in the
don't
wrong
care.
place for that, man.
I didn't barely remembered his name when, when
Yeah,
they pulled him
yeah,
out. I was like, well,
he's out. Yeah, he's
yeah.
out. But what thing that does happen is you Muriel gets she gets some embers to the face, straight to the
Ooh,
face. When that happened, I was like,
yikes.
oh that looked interesting. Okay, and
Yeah.
comes back around when Elendil she finds Elendil and all the rest of the Numenorians.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed it at first, like I'm like, okay, so she's like clearly burnt around her eyes. And then I
Mm-hmm.
kept looking, I was like, she's fucking blind, isn't she? And then
Mm-hmm.
Elendil looks at her as she's on the horse, and she nearly gets poked in the eye with a stick as she's by the tree. And I was like, fuck, she is blind. So that completely caught me off guard. But I was like, oh shit, oh
Yeah.
shit.
I feel like she definitely. I thought she lost her sight in the book as well, like in the lore.
Uh huh.
I feel like that's consistent with book lore,
Right.
but it also kind of makes sense what her dad was saying to her too. Is like, don't go there because all I see for you there is darkness, like on multiple levels.
Right. That it's like that, and then there's the line where, like they're telling her like what's going on, and she goes, "Oh, I see," and Elendil just goes,
Do you?
"Do you?" I was like, Elendil, that is so cold. God damn, dude. I was,
Yeah,
I
that
was
was kind
so.
of funny.
Oh man, it wasn't supposed to be funny, but man, it made me laugh.
With the amount of tact of like a second grader, like
Right.
asking somebody with that just took off their glasses how well they see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
Um.
I bet when they wrote that line, they're like, "Oh, this is so like token poetry right here. This is
Right.
just great dialogue."
Muriel's just like too soon, man. Too
Yeah.
soon.
Oh my god, that's funny.
um. Yeah, and so that's kind of them, and then let's wrap up Numenor when they all kind of get back together towards the end.
Hmm.
Elendil is not happy to see Galadriel back. He
No.
is pissed. He hates everything, obviously, because he thinks, much like everyone thinks, Isildur's dead, and
Hmm.
he's pissed. And this kind of surprised me actually. Muriel's not. She's like,
Yeah.
fuck that. We're gonna come back and kick the shit out of everybody.
Hmm.
So, and
Yeah.
I kind of like that twist. I'm kind of like that they didn't back off and they weren't
Yeah.
afraid. And she's like, no, fuck that. Let's finish this. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, and now you've seen firsthand that it's a real threat. So like,
exactly.
now like before it's like, yeah, go help the Southlanders, whatever, so, a band of orcs, whatever, not really worth our time. Now it's like, oh shit, they just like did some, terraforming. Like we need to get in there and
Right. Like this is bad. This is
this
actually
is
bad. This
bad.
could
Like,
actually
yeah.
affect us as well. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. So, in a way, it's kind of a good thing. So, and then, Galadriel's kind of crying there at the end. It's like, oh no, like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, don't be sorry for me, be sorry for our enemies. And I'm sure Galadriel's like, oh no, like, oh, you're going to go back and bring an army and do exactly what I would really want you to do. Oh
Right.
no, like, so sorry you lost your vision.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
but come back quick though.
dang.
Hey, here's my number. Like, I'll be,
Right.
we'll get back with it.
How
See you
long does
soon.
it take to get there and come back? I'll see you in like 6 days or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna take Galadriel way longer to get back to Linden.
Oh, I know, right?
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for her to just roll up and like.
That conversation with her and Gil Galad, I'm very much looking forward to.
I can't wait. He's gonna be blaming the whole tree thing on her. Like you, like man, if you just gone to Valinor, this all wouldn't be happening.
Ever because he's gonna be like, I knew something was wrong. It's all your fault.
It's
All of it.
Galadriel's fault. Damn it.
And she's gonna be like, "But I was right. But I was right. What do you want?
Yeah.
I was right."
Why are you booing? I'm right. Uh,
Yeah, so, Halbrand is found.
yeah,
He's
I
deeply
completely
hurt.
forgot about him the whole episode. Like, so I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Did not think twice about where he was, and then it's like, oh yeah, he's a guy, and then he's
He's a
just
pretty important guy, apparently, maybe.
dead.
So
Pretty baller to just like get up from like a deathbed, walk out of there.
and ride a horse, that seems, like, terrible to do. Like, yeah, he looked, like, pretty bad.
Yeah, and then the people are shouting like "Strength to the Southlands" is like too bad
Your
time,
South the
bad time.
Southlands are they're kinda gone, guys. The
Yeah,
Southlands are no more.
you guys don't really have a chant anymore. It's dead.
Right. And they're chanting "Strength to the king," and yeah, yeah, yeah. But,
Hmm.
it's gonna be very interesting. Alright, so this is alright, before we let's dive into the predictions in a sec. Let's finish this off.
Hmm.
Theo finds Bronwyn and Arondir. They're both alive. And I
Hmm.
was genuinely surprised that Theo hugged Arondir. It was kinda nice to see him appreciate
Yeah,
him, considering he, saved his life a bunch of times.
yeah, yeah. True.
So, no one that we care about besides Isildur's buddy died.
For a split second, I really thought that they were gonna do like that girl under the shroud was gonna be his mom. It was gonna be
Uh-huh.
Bronwyn. I'm like, bro, if they killed her like that after the whole
That would've been
debacle from last week, I would have been so pissed. Like, he just takes up the shroud and Bronwyn's there. It's like, oh my god, like you only.
They spent, like, 5 minutes on her potential death
I
last week, and
know.
then it's like,
Oh my god,
"Alright, she's dead now."
that would have been so fucking lame. But I'm glad they didn't do that. I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, like, are they gonna like, what's Arondir gonna do now? Like, I guess they're gonna try to go make a new settlement, but like, he's probably gonna go
Yeah,
with
they said they're
them.
going towards the mouth of the Anduin River, which,
Yeah,
yeah, some settlements there or whatever, yeah.
it's like it's kind of where South Gondor would be. I think, kind of on the way to Numenor, out to the ocean.
Right,
I
right,
think.
right. I think so. No, I think you're right, yeah. Alright, that's pretty much that storyline, so let's get into our little keep it secret, keep it safe, spoilers prediction section. Speaking of Halbrand, I think it is very interesting that Galadriel is taking him to Linden.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Oh,
it is very interesting that she's taking him to Linden.
damn. You might be right. And then maybe he happens to meet a certain Celebrimbor,
A certain Celebrimbor, maybe.
and then he happens to maybe talk about some rings. Hey,
I don't know.
oh, those rings you guys are making sounds pretty great. Oh, what about maybe 9 for men?
He's like, "Hey, I'm a pretty good smith myself,
I could make
actually.
some
Ask
stuff.
Numenor. I can make some stuff with you if you want."
We could make 7 for the dwarves. 7. And we could make maybe you guys get 3, but they'll be really
You guys can
powerful.
get 3 of them if you want.
And I'll just make maybe 1 for myself. But like that, yeah,
Just
it
over
sounds like
here.
fun.
Just
It'll be fun, right? I'm a smith, you're a smith. Come on, let's do it. Yeah, like just
let's
like
do
the
some smith
Silmarils.
bonding.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
make some good stuff. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. As soon as I heard that, I was like, "Oh, are the pieces getting into place right now? Is that what's happening?" But I don't know. I'm still like, after last week, I was like, I think for sure he's Sauron. But then after today, seeing him hurt and everything, it'd be a weird play to pretend to be that injured just so happenstance Galadriel shows up to take you to the
But
elves.
it would be like
But
a next level chess move,
it
which he
would be,
would
it
do.
would be, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a
yeah,
great theory.
we'll see.
I have another theory
I
on
don't know.
Sauron too that I'll say later, but yeah, that's like
You want to save it?
I have a certain theory and I'm not sure if it's right or not, but anyway, we'll see. Probably not.
Okay. Well, okay. Okay. All right. Now let's go through. Yeah, let's go through Khazad-Dum.
Okay.
Man, I fucking love Elrond and Durin, dude.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
good.
them. They're the best relationship on this show, in this
Mhm.
entire show.
Yeah. Durin's going, I mean, he's going all out. And then I was like, at first I thought this whole thing, I still don't really love this whole Mithril like is essential for the elves thing. But
Mhm.
when that little piece went by the leaf and it instantly made the bad stuff go away, it's like, okay, I guess it is what the
It
elves think
is,
it
yeah.
is, which
Right.
is still like lame to me, but whatever. But like, whatever. That's what it is.
I mean, but yeah, it does prove that, like it is doing what it is doing. At least, yeah. So that is the key to something, at least I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just love how Durin wants to do this so badly, and obviously his father, the king, is like, no, fuck that. But I will say to a point, there's been a lot of dwarves that dug too greedily, and bad shit happened. So
Mhm.
I kind of and see where he's going with the
I
idea. Be like,
mean,
no, fuck
yeah,
it.
when they're having that conversation, he's like, "Hey, if we go too deep, it might unleash something terrible that would definitely destroy Khazad-Dum and maybe all of Middle-earth." And you're sitting there kinda like, "I've seen Fellowship. I'm yeah, yeah,
He's got a point.
maybe listen to him."
Yeah.
It's like, "Yep, yep, yep, yep." But
I know, but, like but I at the same time, like, I love Durin's, loyalty to Elrond to the point
mhm,
where when he's having the conversation with his father later in the episode, and he says, "Elrond is as much a brother to me as if he'd been fired in my own mother's womb." Like,
mhm,
that's how deep that bond is, to the point
mhm.
where his dad's pissed. He's like, "Shut your damn mouth. How dare you say that?"
Yeah,
But it's like, it just shows, like, there's a real love there, and it's been displayed all season, but it's really good in this episode, especially when the Durin decides to help Elrond, and they're
right.
digging in there, and Elrond admits that, yeah, you know, I let you win.
Yeah,
I let you
yeah.
win. He's like, I was a little winded, but I was fine.
Yeah.
Hey, listeners, quick, little keep it secret, keep it safe. Spoilers happening right now. Check time and codes again. Here we go.
And I think this is really nice, and I love their, relationship. I just think
Mhm.
it's gonna hit all that much harder when, like, it
It's gonna be
inevitably has to
sad. I
go
feel.
badly, like, this can't
Yeah.
last.
Even if it is just because Elrond just outlives him. Even if it's that, it's still gonna be sad, you know?
Well,
But I feel like something worse is gonna
yeah,
happen
as
instead,
we
but
know, the Balrog that, the Balrog that makes an appearance in Fellowship of the Ring is called Doran's Bane. So,
Right, and,
yikes. Could
there's a
be his
lot of
father.
There's a lot of Durins in
There's a lot
Khazad-Dum
of
right
Durins, okay? Who we don't know who it is. Could be Durin the 3rd, could be Durin the 4th, I don't know, but
Who
all we know is it's
knows?
gonna be one of them.
Yeah, I did, like, as soon as, he tosses that leaf down there, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a Balrog down there,
But,
isn't it?
like,
It's go to it. Do
why
it."
reveal that now? That's my whole okay, I hated that. Cause like, why reveal that
Yeah,
now?
that's a good point. If nothing happens with that next week, then I totally see your point, yeah.
Exactly, cause like, they definitely mine a lot of Mithril before Khazad-Dum is taken by the
Right.
Balrog. So, like, that Balrog's not gonna show up for a while, so why tease that now? Like, I just think it was kinda goofy the way they did it, and then the way they just, like, casually cut to the next scene, like, it was
Yeah.
almost too short, I don't know, I just thought it was very weirdly done, and I kinda
No,
wish they
yeah,
hadn't
that's fair
hadn't
enough.
done it, but
Yeah.
and all those rocks falling, my girlfriend brought up a very good point. All those rocks fell in the chasm when they, like, cut that hole out, and then the leaf is
Uh-huh.
what wakes them up? I mean,
Oh.
come on, man.
It's because it was all the goodness of the elves, the light of
Oh,
Valinor
he doesn't
blinded
like
the
that light. Yeah.
Balrog.
They don't like leaves.
Yeah.
A Balrog, you can put rocks on his head all day, but one leaf, I'm tearing this whole place down.
Right.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but, like, I thought yeah, I mean, I just love that Durin, like, would he's basically risking no longer being the next king of Khazad-Dûm
Mhm.
just for his best friend and his brother, basically.
Mhm.
Um, and Durin's pissed. He rips off his collar, which I'm assuming is, like, kinda like a namesake and, like, basically
Yeah.
either, like, disowns him or said basically that means he's not gonna be his heir, but, I
Yeah.
do like how Disa later's like, "Fuck that. You're gonna be king. He'll die one day, and then this shit's yours."
Okay. That brings me to my theory, okay? So keep it
Okay.
secret, keep it
Oh,
safe.
yeah,
Theory
yeah.
time. All right? What if Sauron is in multiple places at once and, like, he
Do you think it's
appears in different
Disa?
ways to different people?
Oh,
Because,
okay.
like, the stuff that Diesel was saying sounded a lot like something some Sauron shit. Like,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
was a
I'm
lot
not
of
gonna lie.
ambition, a lot
It
of,
sound very
like,
ambitious,
she
yeah.
was saying, like, "Oh, we will rule all the mountains, not just this one, like, all of them." I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you talking about?"
Ro
Like,
It was a lot. I will yeah,
I mean,
you're
maybe
not
she
wrong.
already has her I don't know, man, but that was shady coming from Disa. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, that is
That would be very
so
interesting because, like, we haven't seen a lot of Disa, and that surprised me because I really liked her character so
mhm.
far, and I kinda wish we got more, so that would be a huge play for her character.
I mean, I don't know, like, and I don't know, man. It's just it was so like it was so anti what a good guy character, a good Tolkien character would say. Like they are not
Right.
ambitious. They don't want to do stuff like that. They just like want to do. But she's like, oh yeah, like we'll just he's wrong, and then we'll rule all the mountains. It's like this sounds like Grima Wormtongue a little bit here, like like something just
Yes.
sound a little shady. So I don't know. We gotta keep our eye on Disa, I guess.
That's a good point. That's yeah, that would be pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still haven't given up on my original theory that, Sauron is Galadriel. So,
I
or
mean, yeah,
Galadriel is
that's gonna
Sauron.
continue to the show
Yeah.
inevitably ends. Even if it were wrong, nah, fuck it. The show was wrong. Galadriel's
Worked out pretty good so far.
yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much Khazad-Dum. Let's
Mhm.
move on to the final storyline with the
Ooh,
Harfoots.
scary. Scary times. October, Spooktober.
Yes, it was.
Oh my
Yes, it
god.
was. Not to jump ahead, but let's just talk about that right now. That was I literally genuinely put my hand in front of my eyes,
Ooh.
just like waiting for a jump scare. I was terrified when they disappeared
Yeah.
on that
That
hillside.
was very scary.
Oh,
And then at least we're not confused about whether or not they're good guys or bad guys now, because
I,
they are definitely bad
I, lit-
guys.
I literally thought the same thing. I was like, well, at least we know they're evil.
That was evil as fuck.
Holy shit. Yeah, she just takes the fire out and just burns it all, which
Yeah.
I've never seen that kind of magic in this universe from anyone but a wizard. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very interested to know where the fuck these people are from.
Yeah, also, like, how do they have that power? But yeah, very scary.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
very scary. Like, they're just scary up on that hill. I mean, props to Nori for even like getting up and being like, yeah, no, he went.
To get up and say something?
Yeah, she's like, oh, he went that way. And then they're just gone. Like, oh shit. Like, bro, they are terrifying. Like,
I would have yeah, I was done. I would have been done if I was Nori. I was like, "Nope, fuck this. I made a bad mistake. I should not have
yeah.
gotten up."
Oof.
That was the other moment where I was like, "Damn it, Nori, you did it again. This is kind of your fault."
Ugh.
Everything is on fire.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So, but before that, I mean, yeah, the Mount Doom eruption fucked up a bit of their camp, so they're all sad.
Hmm.
Um, and the stranger, finally, I was like, oh, this was kind of bullshit and hypocritical when they're like, "Yo, Nori, can you get your bud to help? You know the guy that we've told you to fuck
Oh
off
my
and like,
god. Yeah.
I hate him." They're like, "Yeah, get his help." And I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, and then they're like, and then they get so shocked. Like this is twice now where the hobbits, entirely of their own fault, have been freaked out by him doing some magic shit. Like, first of all,
Yeah.
don't touch his arm when he's healing, and don't get near a
Right.
tree when he's trying to heal the damn tree. Just stay
Right.
back and let him do his work. And then they're like, "Oh my god, a branch fell on this little kid." It's like, well, he's a stupid little kid. Get out of the way. Like,
Yeah.
stay out of his way, man. Like, god dang, like that was
Everyone
dumb.
thinks it's evil. Yeah. But as we see, the tree actually grows.
Hmm.
But before that, obviously, Sadok's like, "Yeah, here, I don't know what these stars are, but there's big folk over there. Just fuck off. Just leave us all
Yeah.
alone, please."
And that is this constellation from Mordor, right? So, like,
Is it? I don't know. I
I
didn't
thought
look
it
at
was the
it
same
again.
pattern that was on, like, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was the same pattern that was on, like, the stuff that Sauron's, like, kind of signature that they've been
Wow.
doing
Maybe.
throughout the
I'll have to go
season.
back and look again.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Hopefully, we'll find out next week.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Or maybe not. Maybe they're just going to string us along. You'll
Or
find out
maybe
who the
not.
stranger is in season 5, the
Right?
last episode.
It'll be the last scene.
Yeah, just gonna keep that going.
Yeah. Yeah, so, obviously, everything is fine. Even after the cultists leave and everything's burnt, they wake up and the trees are all fine, and then they're like, "Oh, shit. Maybe at home." Oh, no, this is before the cultists show up. I forgot. So, the trees all come back, and then they're like, "Oh, damn, we shouldn't have told that guy to fuck off, should we?"
Yeah.
"Oh, well, let's get all these apples."
Yeah, gonna be eating applesauce for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after the aftermath of the cultists, man, I
Oof.
thought Nori's dad had a pretty nice speech. He's the most optimistic Harfoot there, where they're like, "No,
Mhm.
come on, let's do this. Let's just keep walking and move on." Um, and I love that Nori's like, "Okay, fuck it, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk to find my friend and help him."
Mhm.
And so is Poppy. And then her mom's like, "I'm gonna go too." and to the point where even, Marva, the Harfoot asshole of the bunch, is like, "Yeah, Sadok, you should go too. Not
Yeah,
me, you should go."
yeah, that is funny. I like Sadik a lot. I think he's
Me
like
too.
one of the best people out of the Harfoot plot line. But yeah, I don't know. Four
Yeah.
hobbits. We've never seen this go wrong before, but you know, who knows? Maybe they'll probably find a way to take care of the cultists with like an army of like Ents or Mumakil, or
Right.
you know, they'll just get an entire country of men behind them, and they'll somehow kill the
Right.
cultists that way. Like that's kind of the way hobbits do it. Like
Yeah, they just kinda yeah, they get lucky and get good friends.
exactly, a lot of luck.
But I did like Sadek's line where he decides to go, he's like, basically just like, "Fuck it, we're probably gonna die anyways."
Yeah, true. Yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna be an
Oh,
interesting to see what happens with that next episode. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I don't know if the cultists I'm assuming they did actually go and follow the correct path towards the stranger,
Yeah.
so those 3 sides of the stranger, the cultists, and the Harfoots are gonna collide,
Hmm.
and, I kinda hope the cultists don't die because I wanna know who the hell they are. I hope
Yeah.
that that lingers a bit and, like or at least evolves into something, which I imagine it would, but,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm really interested to just to know where they're from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if they got killed off like now, I think that would be kind of weird,
yeah.
kind of early.
Alright, very last storyline and also the last scene of the episode with, Avadar who survived. I'm telling you, I can tell you aren't happy with this.
It's
Go ahead, you just go.
it's telling us. I'm sorry. Did we need to be not? You held both my hands, pulled me along. I already knew that this was Mordor. Who the fuck didn't know that this was Mordor? Okay. And a screen, like having text on the screen in case you still didn't get it, in case you saw this giant volcano over there and you still didn't get it, and there's ash clouds everywhere and you still didn't get it,
Yeah, I will admit, I would have rathered him just said Mordor rather than the
or
text
just
on the
leave it
screen,
and don't say it,
but
because anybody that watches this from last episode already knows that shit. Why did you have to, and also to put it
it
on the screen?
they gotta make it official, Devin.
That
They
was
gotta make it
dumb as
official.
fuck. I was like, what? Why, bro? You do not need to do that. We get it. We know this is Mordor.
Oh, man. That's
Like,
so funny.
this is the thing. If you trust that you've done a good job writing your show, then just trust it. Trust the audience to understand what you're doing. I've like,
Yeah, I could see that.
who in the world who watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy and then has been watching the show? Who, name one person in the world that after that scene turned to each other and was like, oh, it's Mordor. Like, that's why that
No, yeah.
volcano exploded. Like, of course. Like, we already knew.
You're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right.
I'm done.
The only thing I will just say is there are people that probably have never seen any of that, and this is their first go. But even if that were the case, they wouldn't know what Mordor meant
I
then,
know.
you
I
know?
know. I know. And if this is
So,
your
even
first,
if this was first,
listen, if this is
having
your
not
first
seen the
foray to Lord of
trilogy
the Rings, you're making a terrible mistake. You need to go back and watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy first and then watch this shit. But like, if you don't know that, like, I don't know. If you like, and just leave it vague. Like, if you don't know and this is your first thing, then but don't put it on the
you know what
screen.
they could have done? They could have even just kept that scene exactly the way it was, but gotten rid of the text.
Yes,
And it,
yes,
like it ends
yes,
with Valdreg saying, what do we call it then?" And then it just pans up to the layout of the
yes,
land and the volcano.
exactly,
They could have ended
exactly.
it there,
But the
but
fact that they put that on the
yeah.
screen was just like, I don't know. It just screams to me. It was like, that's what I was kind of mentioning at the beginning, was like, I'm just so up and down. Like, cause like sometimes I love some
Right.
things about the show, and there's some things that they do like that are just so dumb and like unnecessary that I'm just like, it just takes me out of the story completely, you know? It takes me out of the experience. So I don't know. That was lame.
The good thing that was at the end of the episode.
Yeah. But you know, in case anybody doesn't get it, okay, the volcano that erupted is Mount Doom,
Right,
and they
right.
just created Mordor beyond the mountains, which if you had looked at a map before this,
Yeah,
any of the maps that they've been looking on the show, you would have known that already.
yeah. No, that's fair.
There's only
That's fair
one
enough,
volcano in
yeah.
Middle Earth, and it's Mount Doom. Okay? Everybody fucking knows that. I'm done.
Yeah, it's probably, like, one of the most famous fictional volcanoes of all time.
Unreal.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
The writers are sitting
yeah,
there
it
after
is
the
what it is.
scenes like, do you think the audience understands? Do you think they get it? Do you think they understand?"
Right. Yeah. That's
That's
fair.
dumb
There
as
could have
shit.
been a better way to do that, but
Sorry,
it was definitely on the
I'm
nose.
unnecessarily mad about it, but, like, that was just
At least you
so
acknowledge it.
ugh, God, just throw me a bone. Come on, I understand it. I'm smart-ish.
Right. Well, yeah, again, you gotta take it because you know so much of the lore,
But,
So, like,
like
all of this is none of this is the hand-holdy stuff is meant for you, I would say, but
but
you're right,
I
you're
mean,
right.
if you've seen Lord of the Rings and you remember
You're right.
1% of
You're
it, you probably remember the
absolutely right.
volcano in the
You're
Dark
absolutely right.
Fireland, and that's
Yeah,
probably what sticks in your brain.
you're a I can't argue. I can't argue with that.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, yeah. I
okay.
will say, man, all those shots of the just the landscape and seeing Mount Doom in the background was pretty cool though. Like, visually, like,
Mhm.
that looks
Yeah,
amazing. That looks really
yeah.
cool.
They're gonna have to clear out a
Um,
lot of, firewood and stuff because eventually it's just like
right.
a flat
It's just
rock.
flat.
It's just like flat
It's
blackness.
just desolate wasteland. Yeah.
Yeah. What do orcs eat? I guess they eat people. But what
People,
else do they eat?
sometimes each other if they get angry enough. I feel like that's usually what happens. They're just like a mini civil war and they just eat each other.
And also, like, what do you do in Mordor, like, for fun? You just walk around and do whatever Sauron tells you to do?
You sunbathe in some some
Oh,
lava, not sunbathe, but lava
yeah.
bathe,
Lava bathe,
get some
yeah.
heat. You got
Yeah.
a lot of sauna work, so you sweat it out.
Mhm. Yeah. It didn't look like a great place.
In theory, there should not there's all the orcs should be lean as fuck technically, because
True.
it's like 1,000,000 degrees there all the time.
You think any of them were like, I mean, this is kinda cool that we can walk around in daytime now, however, everything's covered in ash,
This
and it
shit
kinda sucks
sucks.
now. And now,
I
like,
can't breathe.
I used to be
There's
able to
no
eat rabbits.
food.
Yeah. Like, I used to be able to catch some rabbits, eat rabbits and deer and stuff, and now I just gotta,
Right.
like, eat rocks. I don't know.
They're like, Adar, I don't know if I signed up for this. This plan, not what I envisioned. Not gonna
Yeah, maybe we should
lie.
go back. Can we go back? We should go
This
back.
was not a part of what I thought when you said I'd make the Southlands great again.
Yeah, make the Southlands great again.
This was the
Oh my god.
uh yeah. So I mean, I don't think we have any more keep it secret, keep it safe. That's kind of basically it. We kind of talked about most of the other things.
Yeah,
Considering there's only one episode left. Yeah,
man, I am really looking forward to Galadriel just rolling up to Linden next week. Like, guess who's back, bitch? Like,
that's gonna be so fucking fun. I just want to see the look on his face. It's gonna be
uh,
so funny.
Gilgalad's gonna be so pissed. Like, wait, you swam from Valinor? You were literally going
Right?
through the cloud into Valinor, and you swam back?
He's he's like, I got to give you props on that. I guess I'm sorry. Like, that's a swim.
I think you just gotta
That's-
quit at that point. Like, the
right.
trees falling apart on your watch, and Galadriel's like, just quit, bro.
Gilgalad just takes the crown and puts
Yeah,
it on her head.
just give her the
He's like,
crown.
I'm out.
Just give
I'm
it to
out.
her. Yeah, you go swim to Valinor yourself.
Right. That and uh I would imagine, I don't know, we'll see. Last time we saw Elrond's just sitting outside Khazad-Dum, sad and alone. I wonder if he's gonna stay there or if he's going back to Linton, and maybe we'll see a reunion with him and Galadriel as well. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah. I could see a Galadriel kinda reunion. That might
Yeah.
work, but yeah, and they got a lot of stuff to wrap up and I guess set up, for the next episode, but,
Yeah, they do. So it'll be we'll see if it lands. We'll see if they land at least the finale. We'll
mhm,
find out.
yeah.
Um Speaking of finales, I don't know if this is our last episode of Fortress Finest or if we'll do another one next week.
Yeah,
Um Listeners, you'll know, and if you see when we did it, we might do it. But also, since we'll probably cover this with the rest of the guys in our normal Fortress of podcast, maybe. But I could see us doing maybe one more. But if not, if this is our last one, we'll see. This was a lot of
mhm,
fun, Devin. I really
yeah.
enjoyed going through this
No,
show.
I
This is great.
definitely enjoy it, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, listeners, just be looking out for that. So if not, also thank you for joining us with all this.
Mhm,
We'll see you hopefully in the finale next week. That's it. You can email us at thefortresssev@gmail.com, fortress FOUR. Feel free to email us any questions, feedback, or anything like that, recommendations. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at The Fortress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Rate and review us, preferably 5 stars. Like everything like that. Thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here. This has been a lot of fun.
Mhm.
You can find Brian at ITZ underscore, by the way, Alex at Peterson Films, and Devin. You can find him screaming about the ending of this episode.
Ugh, yes.
You can find him in some comment section.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be there. I was all in on the show until now you've made me side with the bad guys.
Until oh, it's so funny.
Nah.
Yeah. Oh, and as our sign off, Devin, there was a couple options, but
Ooh.
because I thought of maybe
How about I just like dip my fingers in some ash and just creepily reach out to somebody's head? Because
oh
that was
god,
terrifying.
they still haven't said a word, and it freaks me out.
I know. Ooh, true. Ugh.
They haven't said a single line of
Ugh.
dialogue. Although there's that weird spiritual Isa like behind the like I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I don't know what's
They
going on.
look like they're gonna be in like a Eurovision music video. Like,
They really do. Yeah. So you know what? Let's just do it because it's funny. Let's just say strength to the king and strength to the Southlands.
oh God.
Ironically, because the Southlands are Mordor now, listeners. Don't forget it.
yeah. No strength to the Southlands. Strength to Mordor.
Yep.
Or wait, what did they say at the end? Like, was it like Adar, Adar, or like
Adar,
Hail
Adar.
Adar or
Oh,
something?
Hail Adar, Lord of the Southlands,
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
now
yeah.
Lord of Mordor.
Yeah, and he's like,
In
"Oh, we
some
don't
way.
call it that anymore." And just in case you didn't pick up on that,
What do we call it, Devin?
it's very hopefully written across the screen in burning letters. Fucking dumb as shit.
All right, listeners, we're gonna leave now. Thanks for joining us. Bye.